Meaning in different contexts. Welcome everybody to my presentation, Meaning in Different Contexts, presented by Lansuel Martinez Rocha. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Words that are used in different contexts. Let's start with the word trip. Be careful, you can trip with that cable. Example number 2, let's take a trip to Cartagena. So let's notice that in example number 2, we're referring to travel to a place, in this case Cartagena, even though the word is trip. Just as in the first example, where we say be careful, you can trip with that cable. In this case, we're referring that you're supposed to be careful because something's on the floor and you can hit yourself with it. Now, let's continue with the word bow. Bow can be referring to a gift bow, for example, or referring to a weapon used to throw arrows, or as we can see in this picture at the left part of your screen, an action of greeting, as is used in countries such as Japan. In this action of greeting, you bend your head or your body over and lean forward. However, you can also use bow, as I said before, referring to a gift bow or a rebound, or also as a weapon that is used to throw arrows. Now let's continue with the word seal. Now seal can refer in this case to 3 different things. Seal that is used to seal a letter, seal that is used as an action, a verb that means verb to seal, like as sealing a letter as the lady is showing in this picture, or also the animal, as we can see in this picture at the right, is also named seal. Now the word fan. Fan can be a device for creating current of air or a breeze, as we use in many houses. However, fan can also have another meaning. It can also be a short for fanatics, as we can see in this example, Colombian football fans. Now let's go with the word ring. Ring can be used as a band that is used around your finger. For example, this is an engagement ring, as a jewelry, and it can also be referring to the act of calling someone. For example, I'll give you a ring later, which can also mean I'll call you later. Now we have the word nail. So, nail can be referring to a part of your body. For example, fingernails. And it can also be referring to hit a nail with a hammer. So it's also a verb, an action. Hitting a nail with a hammer is called in English to nail something. And also a noun, that it means this metal object that is normally hit with a hammer, that's called nail as well. So let's go with the word can. Let's start with one of the meanings, which is a modal verb that refers to the ability of doing something. As you can see in this picture, there is a girl telling his brother, I'm your sister, you can't fool me. And there's another use of the word can. For example, a garbage container, or a container for soda, beer, or other beverage. So it can be a beverage container, it can be a garbage container, it can be another type of container that is called can as well, or it can also be a modal verb referring to ability. Now let's go with the word bear. Now bear can be referring to an animal, as a grizzly bear was a polar bear, for example. And it can also mean the action of bearing something or bearing a situation. Let's read this example. I can't bear this poverty situation in which I'm living. Or in another context, be careful with the bears. They're very dangerous when they're hungry. Now, Let's see why this happens in English. English, such as many languages, you have homonym words, you have homophone words, and you have homograph words. So homonym words mean multiple meaning words, and homophone words mean words that sound alike. Homograph words mean that they have the same spelling, different pronunciation, different meaning. So basically homonym words means that they have the same spelling, okay, same pronunciation, but they have different meaning. For example, the spruce tree. Spruce can be referring to a tree, a type of tree that grows in North America. And to spruce up means like to fix yourself up. Another example could be suit. Suit and suit. Suit yourself. Suit yourself means to help yourself. And wearing a suit means to wear something that you put on your body. So as you can see, they have the same pronunciation, same spelling, but they don't have the same meaning. It's used in a different context. So we also have homophone words. Homophone words, they're spelled different, they sound alike, and they have different meaning according to the context. For example, let's go with two, and two. I want to go. I like it too. 1 plus 1 is 2. If I say I want to go, in this case, to is referring to this word that we put before a verb to form the infinitive form. If I say I like it too, I'm referring to, in this case, as a synonym of also. And if I say 1 plus 1 is 2, I'm referring to the number 2. Okay, so let's go with another example here. In this case, let's go with desert and dessert. Is a homograph word. So for example, desert may be referring to something different as dessert. Dessert is referring to something that I normally eat after my lunch, and desert is referring to an isolated area or land in this world. Okay, so we also have some sentences sometimes that has different meaning. So sleep on it. If I say sleep on it, it can be referring to someone is sleeping on top of an object, for example, a sofa. But if I tell someone in another context to sleep on it or sleep on an idea, I'm referring that to think it good before taking a final decision. Break a leg. So we have an example here saying break a leg. Break a leg, taken literally, can mean that someone is going to actually break a bone of their leg. However, if we're talking about doing a performance, break a leg means to make your best performance. It means to do your best performance. Cold feet. Okay, if I say cold feet, it can has a literal meaning, that is to get your feet into cold water. However, as an idiom in English, cold feet is referring to repent of doing something. It's commonly used when people repent of getting married. Then they're called this situation as getting cold feeted. Working around the clock. Working around the clock. Now, literal meaning will be to work around an object as a clock. However, as an idiom, is referring that someone is working several hours, maybe more than 12 hours, or maybe working 24 hours in a row. Okay, let's continue with some common idioms. Eating out of my hand. Give me 5 minutes, I'll have him eating out of my hand. To say that you will have someone eating out of your hand means that you're gonna convince that person to do whatever you want. Not literally the meaning of having someone eating out of your hands, as we can see in the picture at the right, where we have a little bird eating out of someone's hand. Get out of hand. So let's analyze this situation. Mother asks children, how was school today? Children answer, Mom, we are too drunk to discuss school now. Can we talk about it tomorrow? Moms and dad actually surprised. Now, getting out of hand in English is an idiom that means that someone is totally out of control. Straight from the horse's mouth. Straight from the horse's mouth. Saying that you heard something straight from the horse's mouth means, in English, as an idiom, that you heard it from a very reliable person, or that you heard a good information from someone and you can trust on that information because the person knows what he's talking about. Thank you for listening to me. Have a nice one. Thank you for viewing my presentation. I hope you have enjoyed. Have a nice one.